Soul Realignment is the basic session or reading that I offer my clients, where we really get to understand who that client is at soul level. So it's a divine soul blueprint profile reading, where the session is kind of made up of two halves. So the first half is really understanding who the client is, what their divine gifts are, their characteristics of their soul group, talents, and other interesting bits of information just about, those aspects of that particular client and, the soul and how it was created at origination. And then the second half of the session is really about understanding the client's choices, usually in past lives, where there's been consequences because those choices that were made were negative or not in line with who they are at soul level. So not in line with their divine gift and their soul group characteristics. Now, of course, the client doesn't really know who they are at soul level until they kind of have one of these sessions. So it's kind of, it is kind of difficult to, I guess, not make negative choices when you don't know who you really are. So the client will get to understand what negative choices, what karmic blocks they've created, and then what we do in the session is we discuss how the energy or the program of that block is showing up in their everyday life, and what new small choices they can make then to further shift the energy of that karmic block. So, for instance, a person might have a vow of poverty showing up in their blocks that was maybe created 4 lifetimes ago when they joined a religious organisation. And that vow of poverty still might be showing through today with the client experiencing lack financially or maybe in love. Or they find it hard to hold a certain job down, or they just might have a perception that they're never going to have enough, so they might have a lack mindset. And that's how our past choices and our past blocks that we've created can affect us today. And with the whole reading itself, it's very much based on what the client wants to bring in and what the client intends to bring in over the next 6 months. So before the session starts, we do just look at what new circumstances the client wants or intends to bring in, and then we work around those in the session as well. So that helps shape some of the session when we actually have this feedback call. This whole work that I offer is all about the client being able to access as much vital force energy as possible. And vital force energy is something that we get from Divine Source. And this is the stuff, this is the magic stuff that allows us to create opportunity, take inspired actions. It gives us energy. It allows, people to come in and support us. The doors are just open for us, the more vital force energy that we can access. And one of the things that blocks or restricts this vital force energy access is us not aligning to our soul gifts and our soul group characteristics, and also having blocks and restrictions. So the more that a client can understand who they are at soul level and make more positive choices in alignment with who they are, and understanding what their past choices and consequences have been, and having not only clearing on an energetic level, which is what they also receive at the end of the session with my Akashic guides, but also what new choices they can make. That just really helps. Those two aspects really can change and does change people's lives. I've had many clients now who have experienced amazing transformation. improved health, new relationships, setting up their own successful spiritual business or business themselves. There's just so many different ways that this has touched people's lives, just increasing people's self-confidence and esteem, and maybe just kind of getting rid of some kind of belief that they've had about themselves, or some kind of emotion that they've been hanging on to. It can kind of eradicate all of that, as long as the client is prepared to put their own work in as well. So this is not just about me clearing an Akashic record and my guides clearing the record, and the client can just sit and do, you know, and receive that clearing and receive this information and not really do anything. If the client wants to experience transformation, if you want to experience transformation, then your participation is absolutely required. So the clearing itself is tailored to every client's block, so every single clearing is completely different, and there's also 21-day homework that the client gets after the session. So once the session's finished, I will email the call recording and tailored 21-day homework, plus some chakra information healing information. And the 21-day homework that the client gets is again tailored. It's a smaller version of the activation that I place into the Akashic record, and it's read for 21 days consecutively by the client. And that's really just to get the mental body, the client's mind, and sometimes ego on board with the client actually, you know, starting a new phase of their life that they want to kind of step into and create, and getting the mental body on board with that as well. So it's been proven by scientists that you know, a forming belief or habit is made in 21 days. So that's why we have this 21-day consecutive clearing request that's also done at home by the client. So that's the basics of this amazing soul realignment session. And you know, I do offer these sessions also with support calls, which for me would be kind of really the basics that you would look at. So you know, a soul reading and one support call. And the support calls are great because they kind of get scheduled in normally 3 or 4 months later, after the initial reading, just to really help support the client further in creating the circumstances that they want to bring into being. And it also, in some instances, also means just additional clearing and additional healing, new actions perhaps. Depends really what the client wants, because they're very intuitive support calls, again tailored for what the client needs. So the feedback call's done over Skype or Messenger, and it's a 2-hour feedback session. And the research that I put in to actually create the reading and the information is about 3 hours. So the minimum investment that you would be kind of investing in yourself is about 5 hours. So it's absolutely well worth it. And as I say, I've had amazing transformation from the clients that have already had this wonderful reading with me. So if you do want to find out more, please do contact me through the website, and I hope that we're going to be connecting soon. Thank you. Bye.